All right, guys. Cool interview that we have for you today. We have Brian Viker from the Netherlands, who is not only an AZ fan, but he also covers the team both on a podcast and also for a newspaper. Who's here to tell us about our new manager and what we as NYC fans are to expect from him. So, Brian, welcome to the pod. Uh, if you want to give us a little bit background about yourself and a little bit more background about what it feels to be a fan from AZ.
Thank you very much. Big pleasure. I work as a journalist. I cover all kind of sort of news, but I have a weekly column about AZ Alkmaar, one of the bigger teams in Holland. Not as big as the giant three, PSV, Ajax, and Feyenoord, but a little bit below them. And of course, Pascal Jansen, your new manager, he worked for 4 years at AZ, or actually 6 years because he was 2 years an assistant. I've seen a lot about him. I have a lot to say about him. AZ it's hard to compare with New York City FC because the European football and football in the States is still a lot of differences. But AZ are a club that's always in Europe. I think 18 out of the last 21 seasons they were in European competition, Europa League, Conference League. So you get a manager with a lot of experience in he built up in a few years, but excited to see him work there.
So I have so with that, there's something that I know the leagues are not necessarily in. I would call it the same class. You could say because European football plays a little different. But one thing that from reading up recently about with Jensen and with Pascal, sorry, and AZ is that you guys do have one similarity is that you guys don't keep your talent. Is
Mm-hmm.
And my question, one of my first questions for you is how did Pascal deal with that as a manager, where you can have this big turnover in your team, but you're still being competitive year in year out? What is it about him that allows for that? Whether it be his tactics or just the way he coaches, manages, like what do you think of what is it about him that allows for that continued
Yeah.
success through turnover?
It's easy to work at AZ in that case because AZ are a well-run club with probably one of the best youth academies in Europe. So they have a group that won the UEFA Youth League. That's the Champions League for the youth 2 years ago. And the good thing at AZ is that when you lose players, there are always young talents knocking on the door. And even if they start playing for a few years and they leave, then there are other young talents knocking on the door. Pascal Jansen, he had a very a tough ask every single season because in the summer AZ always lose 4 or 5 of their best players. So actually, he can't build a team for several years, but he has to start over again every single season. So that was a big challenge for him, and he did that quite well because he lost some big names, and every time he still managed to get the team back in Europe.
And what is it? So, what do you say is what drives that? Like, what allows that in for him? Is it his tactic? Is it that he plays this sort of? I know he was Arnslaut's assistant, so does he play this sort of
Yeah.
aggressive football that just pressures teams, or is he holding back a little bit? What can you say about his tactics that can sort of get us excited? Because we've had a sort of a style here that the league knows we as fans are expecting to play, which is a sort of not necessarily tiki taka total football, but
Hmm.
we like pretty football. We like great short passes. We like link up plays, but we also like to be on the ball. We want to pressure teams, or at least we're working towards that. Last year, is that something
Yeah.
that Pascal would bring to this team, especially being a young team at that? We're one of the youngest teams in the league.
I think he used his wingers a lot with crosses to the striker. I think that was something that he always used. He played with a number 10 actually throughout his tenure. So he's an attacking-minded coach. But you all already mentioned Arne Slot, who was now the coach at Liverpool, and Jansen worked as an assistant under Slot. But also Slot was an assistant with him. They worked together under another coach. And Slot is more attacking, like all guns blazing. So attack. And Pascal Jansen is more keen on stability. So he played at AZ, especially in his last season, with two central midfielders, and then a number 10 in front of them. Yeah. So he wants to have control. So he's not defensive minded. He wants to attack because he's a Dutch coach and he plays 4-3-3, but he wants stability. That's the first point where he starts.
Wants stability. That's good. I had a question here real quick. At times we've gotten coaches in the past who were a bit more stubborn minded in their ways. I'm going to play this way. It's my way or the highway.
Okay.
What kind of adjustments can we see from Pascal? Will he adjust it? The reason I bring this up, Yousef will tell you, we play Red Bull. Our team is young. This is our 10th season. Literally every single game, they play one way. They are attack. Yeah. Some of our coaches have adjusted to that. Others don't. And we've gotten killed pretty badly in the past for that. So I'm wondering, what kind of mindset does he go in when he has to go into, let's say, a team like Red Bull who play that attack very heavy?
Yeah, he's not afraid to adapt to the opponent. I think that's something.
Thank God.
Yeah. But as Dutch coaches are always focusing on their own strength above the strength of the opponent. So they always focus on what they can do themselves. But I know AZ played in the semi-finals of the Conference League a few years ago. They played away at West Ham United, who have, of course, much more quality on the pitch. And then they got back and almost won there in London. It was a mistake of the goalkeeper that cost them in the end. But there were big games. AZ knocked out Lazio in that season in Europe, and he tried to use the counter attack with quick wingers and let them come. So not pressure till you get killed, but try to do it a little bit different. Yeah. So he can adapt to that. Yeah.
So if the match calls for it, he will not necessarily tell him to fall back a little bit, but he'll say, hey, what our normal is not really what we should be doing today. That's good, because stubbornness is like that is the name of the game for NYC coaches for some reason is stubbornness.
Yeah, it's just stubbornness. It's like, oh, we're gonna play this. Oh, well, this team is stronger in this situation. We're gonna play it our way. And it's like,
so we play into their strengths sometimes. which unfortunately doesn't work out. You guys actually have you've had some Americans, because there's somebody in the league now that used to play for you guys. I think was managed under Pascal. Was Mihailovic.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think he signed him.
Yeah,
but he did not really got his full opportunity.
God, yeah, he's back in the stateside. You keep saying that he likes to do wing play. So the way our wingers are set up now, we have a very young winger who unfortunately got injured last year, Malachi Jones, but he's fast. He's pacey. He's great on the ball. But beyond the wingers, we've sort of been playing this in this fullback system where our fullbacks are really who go up and cross, and then our wingers kind of just cut in a little bit. Would that need to change with under Pascal, or is it more of a smoother transition back to regular wing play and keeping our fullbacks further back, or is it more he sends everybody forward?
I think that will be quite similar. I think that's what we have seen at AZ as well. You had a left back who was very good with the left winger, so they formed a couple, and on the other side as well, a tandem we call it in Holland. I don't know if that's right in in English, but
Tandem duo, right?
yeah, like the bicycle.
Yeah,
So
tandem.
that's what he wants to do. But he had the personal for it, so I think he will look at his players and what he thinks their strengths are, and he will decide his play style on them, I think.
I had a question too. Obviously, this podcast was started. All of us were supporters of the club. Um, what are the supporters? What are they? What were their thoughts on the coach, and especially when he left? Like, was it positive? Was
Is
it
it
negative?
Alkmaar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone here was relieved. That sounds a bit negative, but that's also how Dutch football fans are. So you can do it good enough here, and especially when you come after Arne Slot, who almost got AZ to the title. The season was cancelled due to COVID. They were neck and neck with Ajax, so there was no title winner in 2020. And then Pascal took over. And what I said, he lost so many good players and had to build every time again. I think the big criticism he got in his last season was that he was rotating too much. So when there were players not performing, he didn't give them the time to try it again and again. But then he changed, and then that didn't work out, and he changed again, and people were a bit tired of that. So. But you can never do it good enough here. So especially AZ fans, they are very critical, and
Sound like New Yorkers.
but
Yeah, it sounds
yeah,
like
so
New York.
he will be used to it. So
Yeah, he's used to
he's
that
used
one.
to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is good. I'm excited for him. Not the
But
fact that he looks like my older brother. So it's like,
Yeah, I would say if you shave your beard, you are exactly the same person.
I
That's
might,
been-
be, I may be might be short in height, but yeah, I saw him and I was
Yeah.
like, damn, he looks like family.
Yeah. But
I'm rooting for him.
Next thing you know,
but I have to say, yeah, I have to say that was how AZ fans were looking at it. Actually, the whole everyone else in the country was devastated by the decision of the board of AZ to sack him. So
also he was sacked. He
it's,
didn't.
it's
He didn't leave for the team in Hungary. He was
no,
let
no, no.
go.
He was sacked because of bad results in
Okay.
January last year, so just 1 year ago. And then I think he started in Hungary in the summer, so he
Yeah.
was only there for 5-6 months. Yeah,
Oh, that's. I thought for some reason I thought he had left on his
no,
own
no.
for another opportunity. All right. Because New York is within the, let's say, the American sports media fan world. New York is very rare in its in its own right. We're not necessarily like the rest of the country. When we'll boo you, does if like we'll get at you if you're doing bad. Like for instance,
Mm.
last night, I don't know if you follow basketball, but the Knicks were playing. They're our local team, and we're playing horrifically against the best
Mhm.
team in a different conference. But they were playing really bad. And
Yeah,
before the halftime, they were getting booed like crazy because once we see something good, we expect it to be that. That is what we want. We don't expect anything below championship caliber anything. Even when
Mhm.
so it's just who we are as maybe ego, stubbornness, but I don't know. It's just how we are. I don't know how to describe it really. Dave, maybe you have a word for it, but we have as
Yeah.
fans, we're just always demanding of our sports teams to constantly perform, even when we know for a fact that they can't. We
Yeah.
still think we still go at those matches thinking
Yeah, yeah.
you need to find a way to win. I don't care if you have to
Yeah,
punch
yeah.
somebody. You have to
I think
find
it's
a
just
way.
passion. I think the correct word would just be
Yeah.
New Yorkers have a lot of passion for their team, whether it's baseball, whether it's American football,
Yeah.
whether it's basketball, whether it's NYCFC. Um, we're passionate. We're a passionate fan base, and we expect a lot. So we're hoping, Jansen provides. It sounds like,
Yeah.
he's got a great resume, a young resume, but a good one.
Yeah.
And I think he can thrive in this league. So I'm hoping he does well.
How is
Um,
he with media? Like, is he calm? Is he, it, you know,
You know
Like, how is
Diego
he?
Simeone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simeone, yeah, the complete opposite of Simeone.
Okay.
I would say he's very calm. You could describe him a little bit boring
All
because
right.
we at AZ we had managers like Louis van Gaal, Ronald Koeman, Dick Advocaat, very big names in the sport, and especially someone like Van Gaal. You know, every press conference is like a musical. It's always joy and surprise around
Okay.
the corner. And with Pascal Jansen, you get what you expect. So he gives you the answers you expect. But he doesn't like to let you look into his cards. So,
Okay. Yeah, you could say
but
Cushing was like
he's
that.
very calm. Yeah.
Our last guy
On the
was like that.
sidelines, yeah. Yeah, and on the sidelines he's like that as well. So he's standing, sitting, standing, not complaining too much with the referee or the fourth official. He's very calm, and that's
Very
actually
calm.
it is a plus because I don't think it really changed a lot if you are bouncing on the sidelines and make it all about you. But when the results are bad, you want to see a manager that is passionate and
Yeah. Some people might not like that too much. If
Yeah.
things aren't
yeah,
going
I
well and the coach is kind of just chilling, sitting down, sometimes people like, hey, rally up the troops
yeah,
kind of thing. And
yeah.
all right, we'll see. So we got some stuff to talk about, Yusuf.
Yeah. Because
It's interesting.
that right there is a lot of people when they don't see the manager like at least talk to the fourth official
Yeah.
immediately goes
Yeah,
into, oh, then he's not caring,
Yeah, he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
care. That's the
exactly.
thing.
Yeah,
He
or
yeah,
doesn't care. Look how
like
he's acting.
yeah.
He's sitting down. He doesn't
it's
care.
nonchalant. The game
Yeah.
He
is
just let it happen. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they're
yeah,
just letting it happen. They're not arguing for their players type of thing. So because one thing about our fan base is there's a core group of them that are quick with the out banners.
hmm
So it happened to our last manager. Even
Yeah.
sometimes he'll
The
go
last
to a
two manager, even our manager that we won the cup with, it was like,
yeah,
tell them to
Dailao.
get out as immediately. So
Yeah. So
yeah. Here they have the AZ fans have shouted Jansen rot op a lot of times, and rot op that means I don't know if I can say that, but that means fuck off. So the whole stand was singing Jansen fuck off, and then the manager of the opposition was complaining about that on the press conference after the game. But because they
uh,
were also waving with white tissues, the whole stand, that
oh,
means
like giving
you
up.
you have to go. Yeah, you have to go.
oh
So
no.
and
Oh,
that
Oh
that happens
no.
that that happened 2-3 times, and then results got better, and everyone was forgot
yeah.
about it, and then it came back again. So, but he's been at AZ for 4 years, so it's a very long time.
Hmm.
I think normally managers are not staying longer than 3 years, so
No, that's good.
maybe they needed a fresh mind. Yeah.
Because here, we have another co-host, Sanchez, who unfortunately couldn't make it, but he tells us all the time. He's like, MLS is a 3-year cycle type of league where every 3 years you gotta expect something changing in your club. So yeah, we maybe just won 3 in a year with Pascal at AZ, but for us that's sort of that gives us a little bit of comfort because we're going into 2027. We're opening up our new stadium, so we're expecting
Yeah.
sort of this uh, revitalization of the club and with a lot of youth. And that's something I want to touch on real quick is the youth part of his coaching. We have a ton of youth talent. NYCFC, if I think right now, if you look at Bundesliga, I think we have, as an MLS club, we have the most academy and players sold to Europe.
Mhm.
Lazio, Tati Castellano, their starting striker, our our guy. Um,
Okay.
Scally in a bunch of Gladbach, who's had a breakout year, he's one of our guys. Um, you go down the list and you'll see people. Reina is one of our guys. A bunch of people that have passed through NYCFC are now getting quality minutes uh, in Europe. Richie Ledesma at PSV, came by here for a little bit. He wasn't from here, but he played.
Jack Harrison too.
Jack Harrison, another one.
Yeah.
So, but in the last couple of years, we see a lot of the young guys in our academy or our two team that are not getting a lot of minutes, unfortunately, or not getting or on the bench. For instance, like we had Chris McFarland, who is leaving now, and we wanted to see them play because we see the talent. Is he someone who's going to give these kids a chance, or is it more of a, hey, you can come and train with us, but you're not going to see first team minutes? Like which one does he go? Which side of that does he land on?
He will definitely give them a chance because he's a youth-minded coach. He worked as the head of the youth academy at PSV Eindhoven for I think 2 years or something like that. He's been in the youth system for a very long time as a coach because when he arrived at AZ in 2018, just before that, he was the coach of the second team of PSV. So for a very long time in his career, he's been in the academy. So and at AZ, he also gave players an opportunity. The only thing was that there was a big group of big talents at AZ who just made their debuts when he before he started his managerial career at AZ, and then the next group took a little bit of time between it before they were ready to come. So, but he definitely has an eye for that. Yeah.
Okay.
So don't worry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So it is something that we want to see. We definitely want to see our youth pull through. So I think one of my last questions here when it comes to his play style is, you said that he has this aggressive or forward minded play. What would be the one position on the field that you have to say this position needs to be top quality in order for, like they cannot have, it has to be the star of the team almost in order to have his offense or his team go? Like, what's the position on the field that needs to be solid in order for his whole play to go?
I would say the defensive central midfielder.
Okay.
Or the number 10, because at AZ he used his number 10 for actually the whole time he was there. It was the same player for 4 years that he used. And he was a big worker, he was not the most technical, talented, gifted player, but he was a worker who made a lot of meters and was a bit the guy between the defense and the attack. And I think that's something he will look for. I don't know who's your number 10.
So
he's older now.
He's old, yeah. Maxi Morales is
yeah.
Really,
not sure how much minutes he'll see this season.
Yeah, like Santi Rodriguez is kind of his replacement, but they don't play the same. Santi drifts out wide from the middle, whereas Maxi is more of controlling the ball through the middle.
More of a traditional number 10.
Yeah, he's a more traditional. He's Argentinian. Okay. He's more traditional. One thing that gave me a little concern from what you just said, though, is that central defensive mid is a need. And we literally just loaned our guy to St. Pauli, who, just like you said, he does the dirty work, the quiet game. Like he's not going to he's not flashy, but he does everything you want him to do in order to allow you to go forward. He does the dirty work, and we literally just let him go on loan and need a replacement ASAP. So that
was before Jansen signed.
Yeah, it was literally the same week. Yeah,
that same week he ended up leaving. So
okay.
So it's a little bit of a concern, but hopefully the team has a plan because we knew that we were going to lose him to Europe at some point.
I guess my last question would be if there's anything else that the supporters, the club, the fans should know of the coach. If you wanted to express anything else, maybe we might have missed out.
Yeah, he's a big Denzel Washington fan.
Oh,
okay.
He's from New York.
Is that true?
Yeah, Denzel was. Yeah, he's from New York.
Okay, he's talking about Denzel Washington his whole life. even before New York City FC was in the race. And he's always talking about one speech of Denzel Washington is about falling forward, if I'm correct. That's one speech of Denzel Washington he's always mentioning.
We got to look it up. We're gonna have
Yeah,
to
you
look
gotta
it
look that one up.
Yeah. Not take risk, but people are always saying you have to make sure that there's you still leave something behind you where you can go back to if something goes wrong. And he says you don't have to fall back, but you have to falling forward. Okay, you have to see it. My explanation would not be good. Yeah.
No, we're definitely gonna
we're gonna look it up.
And his mother was a famous singer in Holland.
Yeah, we found
she's actually from from London, and her mother was I don't know the right word in English, but she doesn't know her parents. So Pascal Jansen never. It's difficult to say what his background is.
Okay, he's Dominican, so
that's
it out.
Yeah.
He's family,
Yeah. So maybe you have the answer.
Yeah. We'll take him in. We'll start a rumor and we'll just go from there. You heard it here first on our podcast.
Pascal Jansen. You gotta say with the little Dominican Spanish accent.
Yeah. That's it.
No, Denzel.
Oh yeah, man, that's cool. Hilarious. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm gonna start calling him King Kong. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
But but we're all excited as a fan base. I think this is the first manager we have with real European experience. So we're excited to see what happens here. Our pitch is small, but our fight is big.
Yeah, I really hope that he will be successful.
That. You've been working on that.
A little bit.
Our fight is big. That's fucking funny, yo.
Oh man.
Right, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate
no problem.
Whenever you're in New York, man, just look us up, just message us, and I don't know if you drink, but we'll buy you a pint. And
some days,
and then if you're here during this, come during the season, let us know, and we'll come to a match.
Yeah,
I will definitely do that. Yeah,
Brian,
and hope you win the MLS.
Oh, we'll try. We're trying. Let people know where they can find you. If I know we have a bunch of folks that have heritage from out there. So I don't know if they're AZ fans, but you can let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, no, find me on X with just my name, Brian Ricart.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, again, Brian, thank you for coming on, and see all of you guys whenever we see ya. All right. Peace.